Okay, picture this. You're in an open world. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. You have total freedom. Except, do you? Because Red Dead Redemption 2 and Elden Ring are both open-world games that will tell you they're giving you freedom, and then they're going to define freedom in completely opposite ways. One is going to hold your hand through the most meticulously crafted narrative experience ever made. The other is going to drop you in a world and say, good luck, figure it out. And here's what blows my mind. Both sold tens of millions of copies. Both are considered masterpieces. Both will absolutely wreck you if you're not playing them right. But if you put them next to each other, they're basically asking different questions about what a game is. Red Dead Redemption 2 asks, what if we made a story so good that the gameplay is almost secondary? Elden Ring asks, what if we removed the story almost entirely and just gave you a world? And understanding which philosophy you actually want determines whether you're going to love one of these games or lose your mind playing it. Let's break this down.
Here's the thing that's been bothering me about open-world games for years. They claim to be about freedom, but most of them are actually railroad simulations. They're games that look open, but are actually extremely linear. You're free to go anywhere, but if you go to the wrong place, you die immediately. So are you really free, or are you just being guided along an invisible path? Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018 and basically said, you know what, let's stop pretending. We're going to make a linear story. It's just going to be set in an open world. And that's actually honest. Rockstar didn't pretend you had freedom. They said, follow Arthur Morgan's story. The world is detailed and gorgeous, but your path is our path. Then Elden Ring dropped in 2022 and said the opposite. We're actually giving you freedom. You can go anywhere. You can fight bosses in any order. We're not going to tell you where to go. We're not even going to tell you why you're going there. You figure it out. And both games are completely uncompromising about this. They're not trying to be everything to everyone. They're saying, here's our vision. Take it or leave it. And somehow they're both right. That's what makes this comparison so interesting.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a story that happens to take place in an open world. That's the most important thing to understand about this game. You are Arthur Morgan. You're an enforcer for a gang called the Van der Linde Gang, led by Dutch Van der Linde. The game is about the slow collapse of this gang as they move from place to place, pulling jobs, getting hunted, and eventually facing the inevitable. Their way of life is ending. The government is closing in, civilization is killing the frontier, and Dutch's plans are getting more desperate and more unhinged. The entire game is watching a man you care about become someone you don't recognize. And here's what makes Red Dead Redemption 2 special. That story is woven into everything. You're not watching cutscenes where the story happens and then playing gameplay sections where the story pauses. The story is continuous. When you're riding your horse with Lenny, you're bonding. When you're robbing a train, you're part of Dutch's plan spiraling. When you're doing camp chores, you're seeing the gang's morale deteriorate. The game never takes a break from the narrative. The mission design reflects this. Missions are incredibly specific. Like, you're not given an objective and then left to figure out how to do it. You're told exactly how to do it. Go here, talk to this person, steal this wagon, drive it there, don't get spotted, shoot these guys if they see you. The game is so detailed about what's supposed to happen that if you deviate, you fail the mission. You miss an enemy by 2 feet, mission failed. You go to the wrong building, mission failed. You use the wrong weapon, sometimes mission failed. That sounds frustrating, and sometimes it is. But the reason Rockstar does this is because they're telling a specific story. They want you to experience Arthur's story, not your story. Every mission is a scene in a movie, and you're the actor playing Arthur. If you improvise too much, the scene doesn't work. And the world, oh man, the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is insane. There's this obsession with detail that borders on neurotic. You can pick up items, you can sit on benches, you can fish, you can play cards, you can eat meals that actually affect your health, you can get a haircut, you can bathe. Every single action Arthur performs has an animation. Walking to a horse has an animation. Mounting the horse has an animation. Dismounting has an animation. Picking up an item has an animation. That sounds tedious, and sometimes it is, but Rockstar's philosophy is immersion through detail. Every animation is reminding you that you're inhabiting a real person in a real world. You're not a floating camera collecting objectives. You're Arthur Morgan, and Arthur Morgan does things slowly and deliberately because he's a man, not a machine. The story missions are long. A single story mission can take 20-30 minutes, and a lot of that is writing, talking, watching. But Rockstar trusts that if the story is good enough, you'll be engaged. And honestly, it works. When Arthur is talking to Lenny about life and death while you're riding through the wilderness, you're invested. The difficulty is interesting. Combat in Red Dead Redemption 2 is not hard. Aim assist is generous. Most missions are about following instructions, not about mechanical skill. The difficulty in RDR2 is mostly about not breaking immersion. Can you follow the game's very specific instructions? Can you stay in character? That's the Red Dead Redemption 2 promise. We have written a masterpiece of a story. Your job is to perform it with precision. The world is here for you to inhabit.
Elden Ring is basically the anti-RDR2. You play as a Tarnished, a character with basically no personality and no backstory. The game doesn't tell you who you are or why you're doing anything. There's a big glowing tree called the Elden Ring, and something about it being broken and you needing to fix it. Maybe? The game is vague. The game doesn't care if you understand the plot. It's not important. What's important is that you're in a world, and there's a world to explore. The lands between is massive, and it's yours to explore in any order. You can walk up to Melania, the hardest boss in the game, in the first hour. The game will destroy you, but the option is there. You're not being guided, you're being unleashed. The mission design in Elden Ring is not existent in the traditional sense. You don't get missions, you get vague directions from NPCs. Go this way, I'm waiting for you at this location, and then you figure out where they are, and if you miss them, they might die. Their quest line might end, and you'll never know what you missed. The game is not holding your hand. And the combat is demanding. Unlike RDR2, where combat is often about following instructions and aim assist helps you, Elden Ring combat is about reading your enemy. Bosses have complex movesets. They have tells. They attack in patterns. You need to learn those patterns. You need to know when to dodge, when to attack, when to back away. And if you mess up, you die. The game is very willing to let you die. The world is big, but not detailed in the way RDR2 is detailed. RDR2 has a world where you can sit on a bench for 10 minutes and enjoy the atmosphere. Elden Ring has a world where you can find a cave you didn't know existed, go down into it, fight a boss you're not ready for, and get destroyed. There's almost less detail in terms of useless animations, and more detail in terms of world building and secret placement. NPC interactions in Elden Ring are weird. Characters don't react to you. They stand in one place and wait for you to talk to them. They give vague, cryptic dialogue. Many NPCs move between locations, and you have to track them down. If you miss someone, they're gone forever. There's no quest log. There's no marker. You're just trying to remember where they said they'd be. The story in Elden Ring is optional. You can beat the game and understand maybe 20% of what happened. Or you can read every item description, watch every environmental storytelling moment, piece together the lore, and still debate with other players about what it all means. The game wants you to be confused. It wants you to have your own interpretation. And the difficulty scales based on what you engage with. You can level up to 150 and trivialize bosses, or you can stay at level 30 and get absolutely wrecked. The game doesn't judge. It's your world, you decide how hard it is. That's the Elden Ring promise. Here's a world, figure out what to do. We're not going to help you.
Red Dead's approach, the world of RDR2 is maybe 70-80 square miles. That sounds big, but it's small compared to Elden Ring. But every square inch is detailed. You can find over 400 animals, you can hunt, you can track animals, you can find specific plants, you can find hidden homesteads with tiny stories, you can stumble into a cult doing weird rituals, you can find a serial killer's lair. Every location is crafted. There are no copy-paste locations. Every area is unique. And the NPCs are alive. They have routines, they sleep, they wake up, they go about their day. If you kill someone, their absence is felt. The world adapts to your actions. This creates this illusion that the world exists whether you're there or not. Elden Ring's approach. The world of Elden Ring is massive. We're talking 100 plus square miles, and a lot of it is procedurally influenced or thematically consistent. You'll find the same types of enemies in the same regions. There are repeated room layouts, but the placement of those elements is genius. Bosses are hidden in caves, dragons are perched on hills, there are entire underground cities. And NPCs are not alive. They stand in one spot. They don't have routines. They're not reacting to the world. They're presenting information for you to discover if you want it. The difference is, RDR2 is a living world. Elden Ring is a mysterious world.
Here's something that determines whether you'll like these games: how much time you're willing to spend. Red Dead Redemption 2 is slow. Everything takes time. Arthur walks everywhere slowly. Animations are long. A single mission can take 30 minutes. Animations for looting, talking, moving, everything is deliberate. And that's the point. The game is forcing you to slow down and inhabit Arthur's experience. You're not rushing, you're living. If you're impatient, Red Dead Redemption 2 will destroy you. If you value your time and want to get things done quickly, this game is a slog. But if you can accept the pace and surrender to it, it's meditative. Elden Ring is fast. When you're fighting, you're reacting quickly. When you're traveling, you're fast traveling between sites of grace. Combat is about reflexes and reading situations instantly. There's no slowdown. There's no settle in and enjoy the atmosphere. The game is about action. If you're slow and methodical, Elden Ring will destroy you in a different way. But if you like things fast and you like constantly being challenged, it's intoxicating. The pacing difference is massive. These games are almost opposite in terms of tempo. It's now 2026. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018. Elden Ring came out in 2022. And both games are still influencing the industry in massive ways. But they're influencing it in opposite directions. Games are trying to be Red Dead Redemption 2-like when they want to tell a story. Games are trying to be Elden Ring-like when they want to give freedom. And the two philosophies are still completely separate. Most games are not successfully combining them. The ones that try usually end up in an awkward middle ground where they're not committed enough to either vision. The lesson these games taught is pick your philosophy and commit to it completely. Red Dead Redemption 2 commits to narrative and immersion. Elden Ring commits to freedom and discovery. And both are masterpieces because they commit.